19th, 2018, City Hall. Chad, would you do our invocation today?
Yep. Thank you for this day. Thank you for everything you've done for us. Let keep all the people here and their families safe tonight and tomorrow. Give us the wisdom to do what we need to do for this city and the people. We'll be with all our firemen and EMTs and our soldiers, and be with our police officers. Thank you very much, Lord. Amen.
Do our pledge allegiance, please.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I'll get a motion to approve the agenda for September 19th, 2018.
I make a motion to approve.
James Queen made a motion, Chad seconded. Thank you. All right. Can I get an approval for the minutes for August the 6th, 2018 council meeting?
We got to vote on it.
Oh, can I get a can I vote on approving it? All in favor? Thank you. All right. James, you was the first and
You want to approve the minutes on August 16th?
Yeah.
yes.
I'll second.
All in favor? All right. Okay. You have to keep me straight on this, Laura. So we're having our public hearing for the Pickens County Millage rate tonight. So I need to open. I need a
We'll
motion.
need to open, we'll need to move to open the public hearing, and then once it's done, we'll also need to do the same to close it.
I need a motion to open the public hearing for the 2018 Pickens County Millage rate.
I'll make a motion, we open.
I'll second.
Okay. All right. The purpose of this hearing is to allow for the public input in regards to the 2018 county millage rate. It was, I believe the correct term is it was rolled back. So there's no change in the taxes for Pickens County.
And we had a motion and second, do we have to vote?
No.
Sorry. All in favor? Thank you. I'm ahead of myself in that. That's too much coffee. I apologize. So there was no change. Do we have any public comments regarding the the millage rate for Cherokee or for Pickens County? Okay. Can I get a motion to close the hearing?
I make a motion to approve.
Need a second? Okay. All in favor? Much better. Okay. All right. Department reports, Officer Simmons. Let's see.
Well, public hearings.
Oh, I did. I did, and I thought I did the public appearance.
There's public appearance, the public hearing for the millage rate just happened, but public appearance is also on here for general public input and other things.
Yeah. Does anybody have any input at this time on anything?
I know you already closed this, but
You're fine. We're good.
Okay.
Go ahead.
I really hate to appear like a dummy, but what is millage? Am I
The
confused?
millage rate
Am I confused?
is the value of your property.
It is. I've never heard the term before, millage.
And it's approved every year for both Cherokee and Pickens
And
County.
Pickens.
It's the rate at which things are assessed. And it's rolled back this year, so there's no actual change.
Oh.
So
So it's a property assessment value of some kind?
Right.
Yeah,
Okay.
the county puts on your property.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, department reports. Officer Simmons called, he couldn't be here this evening. He did say that he had a couple of call outs. He said he has 6 for August. The breakdown was 2 suspicious vehicles, 2 stranded motorists, a domestic dispute, and 1 traffic stop. I did not get a report from Pickens County yet, but hopefully we will be getting one soon. They are interested in giving us one. Okay, mayor reports. I'm going to talk a little bit, just real quick, about what's going on and address some of the items from last week. The city clerk position, the city has not found a suitable candidate at this time. We are working very hard to fill the clerk position with the right skill set. Please be patient with us while we do not want to rush this process. And in the meantime, myself and Kelsey Reel are in the office on Tuesday and Thursday mornings, and I'm in the office some on Fridays as well. Our numbers are posted on the door for immediate needs, and as always, if you have any issues, emergency issues, 911, it's going to be your best bet. Last week, the council voted, or we talked about bringing in Miranda McDowell part-time as the city's reconciliation prime. Miranda's previous knowledge of the city has been very helpful to us. She'll be working with me on reporting on the city financials monthly, as well as working with me on the budget and capital improvement program. Miranda's government financial certification and working knowledge of city makes her a very valuable asset to our city. Rumor mill. So I've had some calls this week, and I had some folks stop by asking if Mike Havlin was going to be our city manager. No, we are not going to have a city manager. Mike Havlin has graciously donated his time. None of us are being paid up here. It's all an elected official with no benefits, no pay. So we're all donating our time. Mike has been working with me on capital improvement. The program is backlogged, as you know, and none of the projects that were approved by the council have been completed, with the exception of Cherokee Street drainage projects since 2017. Mike has an extensive educational background and has served as a city council member here previously. I say this to let you know that I choose to focus on the positive things that Mike brings to the table with his 30 years in the public sector as an urban development manager, and his knowledge of capital improvement and CDBG grants that will greatly impact the city, and they're very time consuming. So, and again, he's just donating his time. He's very knowledgeable, and he's been a very big help. Back in January, I asked for, or maybe it was May, I asked for a 30 or 90-day extension to file our final paperwork with the state regarding our capital improvement plan, because of a couple of reasons. One, our 2019 SPLOST 5 for Cherokee County didn't have any projects in it. It was just dollars. The dollars didn't match up to the $1,034,000 that was given to us for SPLOST 5. And I had a problem with that. Council had a problem with that. So I've been working since then to correct that, to get our capital improvement plan back up to speed. We've had to go back and do a little bit of digging, so be patient with us, and hopefully in October we'll have something to lay out for the people here with a program based on what the council has already approved. Okay. We have made progress. In August, Mike Cowell and I met with Jerry Cooper from the county to discuss the needs of the city, to see if the city could help out in some ways with their resources. As a result of that meeting, the county will conduct road paving assessment to determine the city of Nelson's needs. This has been something that the people we've had a few emails from subdivisions, and just from people in general with regards to our roads. We need some work done on our roads. I agree. I drove the roads. I agree. We've had council members that have drove the roads, and we do have areas that need some help. The county has agreed to use in-house paving resources to implement paving in Nelson at a great cost savings to the city. We pay for asphalt only. We'll continue to work with the county to add the cost estimates to our capital improvement program that you'll be seeing later in October. So you'll see the savings there. They've agreed also to help with our GIS. They'll work with Nelson to map stormwater system, roads, parcel mapping, zoning mapping, land use mapping, etc. This will benefit the city as a whole, and it's very beneficial because the city will have a digitized working knowledge of our city's stormwater plus, of all the streets and roads and stuff mapping as well. This will take some time, however, it will save the city money on projects long-term, because we have a lot of capital improvement projects coming, as you will see. And for those projects, you have to have, when you do work, you'll have to have that information. That information would normally come from Maxis Engineering. The good thing about this GIS is, and James could probably talk to you a little bit better, it gives a more in-depth study of what did you say that was? Where I said it's the X and the Y, and it's going to be the vertical. So it's the way that the mapping is done.
Elevations.
Yeah, it's going to cover the elevations as well. And last, we received the intergovernmental agreement with Jerry. We have not received the intergovernmental agreement with Jerry, but we did talk about it. We're looking at an appropriate model that would best suit the city of Nelson. I know some people have had concerns with that, and I agree. Some of our conversation was, we don't need what Waleska has. Council agrees we do not need what Waleska has. At this time, what we would look at, because they already handle our fire services agreement, our EMT, they also handle our, some other stuff that they do for us, like fire service, our county, we have patrol from the county and so forth. So this would include building inspection, but it would leave off code enforcement for right now, to give the council time to look at our policies that are in place and our ordinances that are currently in place. So none of that is going to happen right away, but the talks has started, and that makes it, that puts us at a little bit better place, I feel. Earlier this year, and I've said this before, I asked for a 90-day extension for the council to adopt a capital improvement budget for those reasons. The capital improvement budget didn't have projects for SPOS 5. The public safety dollars that were left over after the police department was dissolved was kind of up in the air. We did get clarification on that between the attorney, the GMA attorney that handles SPOS, and also Jerry Cooper, and we'll be able to work with our attorney to take the dollars since we dissolved. That project is considered complete since we dissolved the police department, so we'll be able to actually move it into one of the other two open items on that SPOS. Our goal is to have capital improvement and SPOS budget for the council approved by early October again. Marble Festival is the 6th and 7th. It's coming up. I'm working with Regina Camp to identify a schedule for Saturday and Sunday. We did get the bus schedule, so we have that. We'll post more on the web and on out here on our bulletin board as we get it. If you have any questions, call us. If you're interested in volunteering and you have any knowledge of the city, that includes those of you that are at home watching, please get in touch with one of us, the council members or myself. We would love to have you volunteer. I've asked the lodge to come and set up and do waters and sodas and refreshments for this year for us outside, and they have graciously accepted. We will have porta potties. They've been ordered, and the county will provide those like they did last year. We will be having some partnering with the lodge to do some things for the community, to bring the community together. So any ideas are welcome. You guys have some ideas, please bring them. One of the things that I plan on doing is having setting up here at Halloween and passing out candy to the kids and offering hot chocolate. So if anybody wants to come out and be a part of that, that would be great. We had a property complaint on North Street. Had 3 people come in actually and complain 1 week, which that's the first complaints I've had personally since I've been here. So I did go and speak to them in the way that the council has agreed to handle this right now is to give them a grace period to clean up their property. And if that doesn't work, then the citation will be issued. So it's, I'm hoping.
It worked
Did it work? Good.
already.
Yeah, so that's good, and I'm glad that it did, and that goes a long way. I mean, if we've got areas, we want everybody to be mindful of your neighbor and keep it clean. We don't want the Gestapo in here going around taking notes or anything like that. We just want, we want everybody to live and be friendly.
Yeah, it's lost, but
We'll see that too this week, my neighbors and your neighbors. Mine's gone good.
Sanitation bills will be going out the 1st of October for the quarter, and the council will be scheduling dumpster days for the first part of November. We'll be doing that, we'll be approving that next in October at our October the 1st meeting. Okay. All right. Anybody have any questions? Go ahead.
Again, on the city manager, I don't know who or what is on first. The city has determined that the city doesn't need one.
No, we're not going to have a city manager.
It's not necessarily the person, it's just the position isn't needed.
Yeah, we did away with it. We didn't do away with it. We just chose, the council chose not to fill the city manager position, and we're going to have a city clerk.
But maybe down the road as the capital improvement project and plan gets in place, maybe next year?
Probably not. So we have our budget's $455,000 a year.
Okay.
So in order to get a true city manager, we really couldn't afford that.
Okay.
So that's where folks like, Mike or different ones that have skill sets that come in and say, hey, I'm pretty good at this, I can do that. They come in and they work with the council some, and like I said, Mike's been here a while, and he's donating his time. So, and I'm a project manager, so hopefully our, we'll get projects moving and rolling along.
What is the process for properties that you said you cited a property out north? How does that process work?
Well, we have ordinances in place, and we have city policies in place. Your city policies are your intergovernmental working agreement. Your ordinances are legislative driven, but right now, the way the council has chosen to do that, and James, you're David, want to speak to that?
we've just been sending a letter out to somebody that
Yeah.
give them a chance to clean it up.
And it's worked. I think we've done it.
Along with that letter, we state, if it's not done within a reasonable length of time, there'll be a fine assessed to it.
And those properties are identified strictly by the public submitting a complaint? Is that the only mechanism?
Usually a neighbor
Yeah.
It is. Okay.
or several neighbors.
Okay, that's all for me. Unfinished business, we talked last week about concrete slabs for the park. I would like the council to take into consideration that we're working with the county. We haven't gotten that far yet, but working with the county, they have concrete people that will come and do it at a very low rate for us, that do that. It's what they do. Right now, we've got a temporary fix in place, and it works. I was there yesterday at our park, and it's, they're stable and everything.
One Ricky fixed the,
Yeah.
did we ever find the sketch of the sewer layout out there? Before we pour a slab, we'll have to know exactly where the field lines and stuff is.
Yeah, and I have not.
Didn't the county build that for the city?
Yeah,
I got a
exactly.
record of it.
Yeah, I asked about that, and that's one of the things that there's, the guy's name, I don't have my notebook in here, but they are working to get that information for us, so.
Yeah, we just need to get that where we can, then we can get slabs forward for the picnic tables.
Mhm.
I think there's room, just looking at it, but we just have to see how it's laid out on the paper.
Yeah, I'll try to have something on that by October. I did ask, but I didn't follow up with it. I have a lot going on with our other storm shed. So, the next issue was a kudzu behind Cherokee Avenue and Pickens Street. Cherokee Avenue and Pickens Street, the kudzu is on hold right now, guys, and the reason being is it's fixing to be winter. Your issue's not going to be there. Curtis Barn Hart is the environmental person that I spoke with. He's the North Georgia Regional Environmental person. He's going to come out and have a look-see and see what can be done with, because you've got that, you can't disturb the ravine that's there. However, we also have an obligation to you guys not to let that grow up on your fence. Everybody agrees with that, so we just got to come up with the best way. You can't spray because of the ravine. All that water goes somewhere, and that's the other thing that they're supposed to be letting us know. I've got to call into Jennifer Arp with Cherokee County to find out if we are using any of our, like Laurel Lake or any of the other water areas that we have for their water resources. So we can't do anything until we find that out.
Is that meeting scheduled with that gentleman yet, or?
He's going to call me back and schedule with me after the 1st of October. They're in the process of, they've got a big drive going on right now that they're working on. So with regards to some state mandated watershed, floodplain, flood management stuff that's going on. So he said it'd be after, that ends on September the 30th, so he said he would get with me after the 1st of October.
Yeah, I have another tractor coming out in a couple of weeks to still continue to try to whack it back a little bit, so.
Okay. All right. When we do have that meeting though, I'll let you know and you know,
Thank you.
post on that. Okay. New business. Discuss and vote on the water authority ordinances. So, guys, I didn't put these in your book. I laid them out beside of you. So, this here, Metropolitan North Georgia Water Planning District. This is a list of all of the new stuff that the city will need to comply with for the state. If you see in progress, you'll see over in my comments where I've got an action in here. And I'm working with Alice from the EDP, and I'm also working with some folks out of the North Georgia Water Planning District. I'm not going to take the time to read all these, but if you guys don't mind, take these home and take a look. We'll have to have some meetings with our inspector to make sure that they're aware of the changes that the state's made. We'll have to have a meeting with, I have to hold a big meeting with Barry Holbert and Ricky Fawcett to make sure that our maintenance guy and our engineer are aware of these changes. Barry did tell me that he was aware of them because of being in Cherokee County and doing work with Cherokee County. So, a lot of it was not applicable to us, and the reason that it's not applicable to us, just so the public knows, is because we don't provide water. Cherokee County is our water provider. So a lot of this is pertaining to them. There are some things here that, like for sewer, we don't have sewer, everybody's on septic here. But with that goes along, there's ordinances that go along with that to make sure that we don't have seepage and we don't have, people not taking care of their septic. And it also holds the council, basically it holds you accountable for making sure that the codes are followed with regards to that septic and to litter and stuff, because eventually they say litter ends up in the water. So,
You wouldn't know.
yeah.
Oh, that's that.
So, you take a look at the stack whenever you get a minute. I'll give you guys time to look at it. Anybody that wants a copy of this, I can email this to you. You just have to let me know. I can let you know. It'll also tell you where we're at with it, if it's in progress or if it's completed or if it's not applicable. So this also goes hand in hand with our ordinances and that we have. We'll have to update those. That's what this is for here, and then we'll file these with the state. Also, this is there's yearly requirements that have to be met. So for the council, we'll put a binder together with all of this information and a schedule of events that have to happen on a yearly basis, and I'll schedule that for 5 years, and then somebody will sign off on it that we've done it, one of you guys. I do have one ordinance here. It's integrated 12. In here, just go find it. It's in the front. Integrated 12. They don't have a model ordinance for this yet. This is basically for privately owned residential water treatment systems. So it's for people that are building, and even in subdivisions and stuff. And this is a copy of county to counties. It's not applicable to us. There's a lot of stuff in here that we don't need, or it's not part of what we have. So Alice is going to work with me on getting something for you to adopt, and that's specific to Nelson. That I need the council to adopt. We can take a look at those. One is the model flood plan management, flood damage prevention ordinance. It's required by the state. A water waste policy and the water supply and water conservation plan. Again, we work with Cherokee County on that, but still wants to adopt that. A model litter control ordinance. And this is the one I was telling you about, that all municipalities will have to adopt. We already have something in place, it's just maybe not as stringent as this. And the model illicit discharge and illegal connection ordinance. And last but not least is a model stream buffer protection ordinance. Again, all these are standard ordinances that have to be adopted by everybody. It's not, it's state mandated. So. Do we have to adopt these one at a time?
Yeah, we'll need to go through them at a time, just to be clear which one's being adopted.
Okay.
They'll just, whoever is making the motion, they'll just identify it by the title in bold, so we're clear and everything matches.
Okay. Again, if anybody would like a copy of these, I can email them to you. Please let me know.
This one here, we already adopted in 13, didn't we?
We didn't. That's just a model ordinance. That's the latest one that she sent me. That's why that date's on there. There was one from 2006, and then there's one from 2013, and she wanted to make sure that we did not adopt the wrong one. So, want to make sure we adopted the latest.
this something shall be voted on tonight? or-
Yes, it has to be handed back out to them. There's I went through it in detail, just so you guys know, just to cover myself, and I went through it 3 times with the EDP to make sure I understood, because it carries weight with the government, with the state. So I highlighted everywhere that we put, who was responsible. That would help you guys with this. But again, these are not, these ordinances are not optional. Anything that's here before you tonight is stuff that has to be approved for the state no later than September the 30th. This one here, they allowed us the multi-user privately owned residential wastewater treatment system. They did allow us to show in progress on this one here, and it will be voted on in October, because they don't have a model ordinance for us yet to approve, and they can't tell me if they can accept what we have. So we got an extension on that one.
And which one is that now?
That's this one right here. There's a note from me and highlighted in yellow. It says, "Council, this is an example of a sample ordinance for Coweta, and we will show in progress until I can get with Alice and with the EDP to see what is specifically needed for the city of Nelson." In other words, I've talked with her. She owes me information. I do have the FEMA flood plan map, but I couldn't get it to print. And it shows that the city of Nelson is an area of minimal flood hazard. We do have one of.
Say we have to do the adoptees one at a time.
That'd be the preference.
I'll read it off so we have the minutes, if that's okay, and then you guys can vote. Okay, let's start with the model flood plan management, flood ordinance prevention. Can I get a motion to adopt the model flood plain management flood damage prevention ordinance?
I'll make a motion to adopt.
Second.
All in favor? Unanimous. Can I get a motion to adopt the model litter control ordinance?
I'll make a motion to adopt.
I need a second.
Second. Chad, you second.
All in favor? Okay. Models, can I get a motion to adopt the model stream buffer protection ordinance?
I'll make a motion to adopt.
Can I get a second?
Second.
All in favor? Unanimous? Can I get a motion to adopt the model illicit discharge and illegal connection ordinance?
I'll make a motion to adopt.
Second.
Okay.
All in favor?
All in favor? Unanimous. Thank you. Okay. Can I get a motion to adopt the wastewater policy for, let's see, wastewater policy in the water supply and water conservation plan?
I make a motion to adopt.
Can I get a second?
So,
All in favor? Unanimous, thank you. All right. Thank you guys for that. Next on the agenda is to discuss the bid packet for demolition of 24 Spring Street. Give you guys an update. Having issues with the power pole. I have to go out and take a look at the meter and see who's on it. Nobody's owning it. So, and the caller says it's not theirs, and Georgia Power says it's not theirs. So I said, well, how would I tell? And they said, go look at the meter and see what's on the meter. So I'm going to go get the meter number off there and see whose that is. I'll do that this week.
On the house or something?
There's a pole right behind where the house is at. That pole needs to be moved because it's right in the way to run the drainage. So I'll.
You talking about that feeds the lodge hall?
I don't know if does it feed the lodge? It comes across there. But it's right in that back corner of that property. Or
There's
not in
one
the.
feeds the lodge hall with a transformer on it and a meter.
Okay. I'll take a look. Maybe go down there and take a look at that and get that.
Georgia Power.
I thought it was Georgia Power. That's what Barry Holbert said, but Georgia Power says it's not theirs. So anyway, I won't.
That's one of the limbs that's growed up into the power.
Yes. We are almost finished with the bid package. We'll be presenting that with a schedule for everything, running the ad and everything on October the 1st. So, and hopefully I'll have the tree removal bids back by October the 1st as well. 3 of those things.
What did Barry say about getting the ground disturbance permit?
He has submitted a national, he submitted for a national permit, that's what it is. And he's had to, I think he had to submit for 2 of them, one on each side of the property. So, I know, but I don't,
Is that's in Pickens County?
Yeah.
I think so. So, he's already done that though, so we've got that, and in there on the table is the drawings that he's come up with the folks that did all the surveying for the turn lane and stuff. So we'll discuss that on October 1st meeting as well. Okay. Next on our list is an executive session, personnel. I need a motion to,
Make a motion, we go into executive session.
I'll second.
give me a second, okay? All in favor? Thank you. To,
Adjourn.
no. Get a motion to compensate Kelsey Reel for coming in and helping us with the day-to-day activities of the city hall here. 12 hours, up to 12 hours a week from the current pay period through October the 21st.
I make a motion.
Can I get a second?
Second.
All in favor? Unanimous? Thank you very much.
Make a motion, we adjourn.
I'll second.
All in favor? Unanimous. There we go.